Hi everybody, it's Diana, and I'm back with another Teach Me Tuesdays video. I'm going to try to keep this one quick. I fought 2 aura migraines yesterday, and I just want to play catch up since I laid down most of the day. Not sure if you've ever heard of those, but they're not fun, and I can't see anything when I have them, so needless to say, I don't get anything done. So, the cards that I'm doing today, I don't even know what to call them, like what technique or whatever. So I don't really have a name, except there's an angle and there's splatter. So that's what I'm going to show you today. So these are just 2 different colors, but I'm going to show you the poppy one. Okay, let's start, and then I will also share some of the things that are going on today, and as well as my class on in the mail, so I hope I don't forget. Okay, so I am going to show you first, so it can be drying, how I got the little bit of splatter on the card. So there are some stamps that have a splatter image in them, but you don't always have that, or sometimes you just want a bunch of splatter and you don't want it to look like you purposely stamped it. So that's what I'm going to show you now. So what I have is one of the aqua painters. Now the aqua painters are 2 sides. You have a big one and a little one. So the little ones are the ones that I use all the time for watercoloring. I don't use the big ones very much unless I just want to put a whole bunch of color or things like that. So I usually have the big ones always around, right, that aren't being used. So this one is my splatter one. I also have one, if you can believe it or not, and this is for mailing. So the it has that nice big tip and it's full of water. I just put some washi tape around it so I know that it's the mailing one. And what I do with that one, believe it or not, is that's how I lick my envelopes. So I don't want to lick them with my mouth, and I just use my aqua painter, and that's how I lick envelopes. It comes in handy at Christmas time, I'll tell you that much. Okay, so let's start. What I have done is so I'm going to use the colors that I'm using to stamp. So this is the Mango Melody. So I'm going to open this up, and I have some color in the lid. Now you can squeeze the lid, and you squeeze from the bottom, and what that does is it puts the ink on the top of the pad. So see that? So with the new style pads, you squeeze the opposite. In the past, I remember squeezing from the lid down, and now we squeeze from the bottom instead. All right, and then I'm also going to use poppy. Now I have already squeezed that one, so I don't need to squeeze it again. Then all you do is you have your aqua painter with the water in it, and I also have, these are just like little makeup nail sponges or whatever, they're cotton, and I always have these on my desk for when I'm watercoloring, and it comes in handy for this as well. So you just want to squeeze your aqua painter, make sure there's no other color in it, and then I'm going to come over here, I'm going to load that up with the Mango Melody. Then all I'm doing is I'm taking the lid and I'm brushing the brush across the lid, and what that does is it splatters out the color there, and you can decide however much you want. Then take your little nail polish cotton or whatever and clean the lid off, and then I'm going to squeeze again and flush that Mango Melody out of the tip of the aqua painter. Then I'm going to close my pad, because I'm going to use this for my flower. I'm going to reach over here and grab the poppy one, and I'm going to repeat what I just did. So I'm going to load my aqua painter up with the poppy and do the same thing. Now if you sit closer, you get like more splatter. You're just going to have to play with it. So that's pretty good. Alrighty, then I'm going to again clean off the aqua painter, and that's just so that next time you grab it, it's ready to go with the color and you're not getting ink all over your fingers. All right, so I'm going to empty that out, or not empty it, but clean it up. And now this is ready for splattering another day. All right. So then I'm gonna get that ready. So now I did that ahead of time just so that it can be drying. Okay, because it takes the little splatters just, a few minutes to dry on the paper. All right. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start the flowers. Now this is the fun part. So I start with the black one first, or the line image. And I'm just using my Memento Black. I'm getting it inked up really good. And I have put a little mark, it's hard to see. I put a little black Sharpie mark on the stamp right there. And I did that on each of the flowers so that I know that that is the petal for lining it up. All right, so I inked that up. And this is just Whisper White. And peel that off. So I know that this is that petal, okay? Then while I have the ink pad out, I'm also going to stamp a leaf and another leaf. Good. I could have stamped that one better, but I'm on camera and we're just going to pretend it's perfect. Okay, so now I'm going to move that out of the way. All right. Then I'm going to go with my light color. Now I played around with this stamp, so like this one was on shimmery and I colored with the aqua painter and ink. This one was on watercolor paper and this was the Pacific Point, so I played around with that as well. Then I thought, ooh, let's try the two-step stamping, which this stamp set is, right? It has the different layers. You have the open line and the two different layers to do your colors. And then I thought, oh, I want to try the grape, but to me it was a little bit too dark. So I didn't care for that color. This was stamped off a little bit, so I still didn't really like that one. So then I thought, what if I put the yellow and the purple together, kind of make a pansy? And I wasn't really, it's not bad, but I wasn't really keen on that one either. So that made me decide to pick two totally different colors. And that worked so good. So that's what I ended up doing. So that's why I went with the Mango and the Poppy Parade. And just play with your colors, right? It's only paper. So then here you can see the little black. It might be hard to see, but then I can tell that little Sharpie mark so that I know right where that needs to be to line it up. And this is a, whatchamacallit? Oh my gosh, what is this one? Oh, I'll have to put it in the video because it has a special name. How this is, the style of it. It has just gone out of my noggin. I swear, every migraine, I lose a little bit of brain matter, I swear. My memory is so horrible. Okay, so here is the Poppy. And again, there's that little mark of Sharpie so that I know like that and that are my two ones to line up. Ta-da! And look how beautiful those two colors look. So I think it's because there's such a difference in them that you can really see which is which, where when I did the colors too close together, it was just harder to tell. So, all right, so same thing when I did the leaves. So I picked, what is this? This is the soft seafoam. So it is a very, very pale green. So I'm gonna do one with that, and then again, I'm probably not going even because I can't look right over it without you having to look at the top of my head. So that's the soft seafoam. And then I did Pear Pizzazz. So I found that the leaves are a little less noticeable that you have the two colors than the flowers. So you definitely don't want to have those colors too close to being the same. All right. So you can kind of see the seafoam around the edge. So it's very, very cool. All right, so then you're going to take it over and you're going to take it to your die cutting machine and you're going to die cut it out. So this stamp set I'm using is To a Wild Rose, and then it has its matching wild rose dies. So it's a very, very awesome bundle to have. So then what I did was I have cut them out. And what I'll do is I'll flip this over. Well, I'll get rid of it altogether. How's that? All right. So then I have my leaves. Now what I'm going to do is I have my Whisper White thick card base. So I'll give that a crease. And then I have a piece of the Whisper White, and it's 4 by 5 1/4. So that is going to be, no, I already have, where's my splatter one? Get over here. All right, so this is the one that I had splattered. So that's going to get layered on here. But what I want to do is I have some of the very, very cool, it's like the little 6x6 DSB pack. So this is the bright 6x6 because it had the poppy as well as the mango in it. So I could choose whatever colors I wanted. So for this card, it was the mango in the check. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my cute little cutter. Now, if you haven't seen this, this is actually available. If you join my team during celebration, you can get the little guillotine cutter as well as like a pack of 6x6 DSP, like a little sampler, for free when you join my team. So you have to do that during celebration, which is the end of March, while supplies last. So just in case we sign up a whole bunch of people. You know, like I'd hate for you to miss out on the little cutter because I'm going to use that today. All right, so I'll move this out of the way. All right, so what I did was I cut a couple 4 by 5 1/4 because they will match this piece here. And then you just kind of decide which one or how big you want it to be. So I want my my angle or whatever. So you kind of visualize where you want your top one to be and your bottom. If you can't, you can always put like a pen mark and do it that way. So I'm just going to, I'm just visualizing it. And then that cuts my little piece of paper. And then what's cool is now you have 2 cards, right? So you have 2 cards to go. But there's also writing in that pack. So if I were to choose to use the writing, and I'll show you. So I'm going to choose to use the writing. I'm going to cut that one. So if you do that, you have your bottom one will be the writing, but you can't flip this one, right? Because the writing's upside down. So then instead, you would just put your card, so your flower, this would be the white part. So it would make more sense if you're actually doing it, but just so you know. Or you could use the writing on one. See, this is the writing, and then it's got this really, really cool on the other side. So it's just up to you. Okay, so let me get a little cutter out of the way and finish the card because I have been blabbering too much. Oh my gosh, this was supposed to be quick. Okay, so now I'm just going to quickly assemble my card with some snail, and this will go right on the bottom because it's the same size as the white. Then we're just going to put our little leaves. So I just want them to follow along the edge here. So I'm just using some glue dots. So actually this one is going to go on the bottom. Come on, glue dot. All right, so this one's going to go along this edge. And I want to put this one on with some dimensionals, just because I want these leaves to be a little higher up than the other ones, because they are a little closer to the flower. So then this is going to go up here. And then I'm also going to put some dimensionals on the flower. But instead I'm going to, and usually you don't do this, but I'm putting them on here, just so I know I'm not putting the dimensional here and then it's actually dimensioning here, which will make it even higher. So, and if you're not sure, you can lay your flower there and then you know how much space you got. So, but I've done this a couple times, so I know where my flower is gonna go. So remove the little glue dot doohickeys. And then your flower is going to go on there. Super fun. And then it's going to get glued onto the card. and I will do that after, just so I can keep going because I'm talking too much. All right, then I stamped the little hello. Now this one I think I'm going to leave plain. I'm going to make a bunch of these cards up, but I'm going to wait and put the greeting till I know what I want the card for. So what I would do is I would make all these fronts, I would keep them inside here, right? And then when I know if I need this one to say thank you, get well, happy birthday, then I'm going to pull it out, I'm going to stamp my greeting, and then I'm going to finish assembling my card. That way, the card is all the way done. You're just going to have to put your greeting on it. Because sometimes you are in a hurry for a card, right? Your husband comes to you and he says, hey, you know, Angie at work has a birthday and I need a birthday card. So then I can go, there you go, or get well. So that's just a little trick. So anyways, all right, real quick, some business stuff. Let's go to the coordination product release that is going on today. So you are going to want to get a lot of these fun little things today. All right. Oh, I had to zip over to get this card. So one of the things I showed on my blog the other day was this cute little raccoon card. So these dies that cuts out this little guy, you can get today. And then this oval with these cool flowers, you can get today as well. So you just want to make sure you pop over to my blog. Where is that? That is right there. And you can check out all the stuff that you can get with the coordination product release starting till today. Again, while supplies last. That's always important. I also want to talk to you about my seasonal card of the month, which is witticisms. You can also read about that on my blog. If you want to get this as a class in the mail this month, let me know as well. So I think that's all I wanted to talk about. I hope so. And I want to thank you for joining me today, and I will talk to you soon. Bye-bye.